Hello, trading has closed on May 27th, 2025. We'll do our disclaimer, go over our calls, make our predictions. It's my trading plan for Wednesday. Wednesday is May 28th, 2025. Please remember, just a plan. It can be wrong. I can change it and trade at your own risk. Look for the pattern with the early low. Tends to have a rally regardless of where we start and close near the high. We got that. We said the commonest thing was a gap and a prompt move outside Friday's range. So far, so good. Those all worked. This is a reminder of what we said. We said there was strong support here, and we said that this drop was due to a news announcement of the president introducing more tariffs on the European Union. And we said that more often than not, big moves in response to news announcements tend to get reversed quickly and completely, and that's what happened. We now have a big rally in response to the news announcement that those tariffs are going to be delayed at least until July. And the question is, will the same thing happen? Is this going to be reversed quickly and completely? And the answer, as we'll see, is possibly. Well, during the day, MEJT, by the thinnest of margins, said we're going to hit 59.1063. I have to stick by the rules, and that remains a target. Now, we came close enough here to make it optional. There is a tolerance. We don't have to hit it, but I'll tell you, even if we don't hit it tomorrow, this kind of an optional target, and there are different kinds, it'll almost always print, and almost always it'll print tomorrow. If it doesn't print tomorrow, we're not going to cross it off. We're just going to keep it as an optional target. Well, we had this red line here, which called the high. We had these blue lines, which called the low. And now the question is it possible, this is a one-day wonder, is it possible that this move in response to a news announcement is going to get reversed quickly and completely? Let's take a look at some other time frames. Well, the idea was we had wave 1, we're making wave 2, we have A and we have B, and we think we're in wave boxed C. Now, if C is equal to A, as it frequently is, we're going to wind up around 56.58. Now, what happens if we stop right here? If we stop at today's high and we drop to 56.58, that would be wave C of C, and wave A of C would be right at the 78.6, right there. So if this is a top and we drop to 56.58, the fibs work. Now, just because the fibs work doesn't mean some other fibs won't. But let's look at some more fibs by going to different time frames. Well, here's the high, here's the low. This whole thing stopped right at a 78.6% retrace. And if this is wave A and that's wave B, you can count this as A, count this as B, and if that's the height of A, the height of C would be exactly twice A. So far, all the fibs are working for this high. All you have to do is find a way to count this wave. Let's try. Now, I don't think there's a clear count, but it sure does count as an ending diagonal triangle. Here's your ABC for A, ABC for B, ABC for C, ABC for D, ABC for E. If that's an ending diagonal triangle, and we've got a wall into the close, everything fits if we drop right from the open. Now again, if the bulls continue the rally, all they have to do is take this high out early and keep going, and the whole idea falls apart. And that we don't know. We're not going to know that until tomorrow. But if that's a stilt and that's a stilt, and I call this a diamond, here's another diamond. It's very, very common for diamond on stilts to come back to back, and sometimes even back to back to back. Doesn't mean it has to play out that way again. You come up here, the whole thing's killed. But if, in capital letters, if we start down by gapping down smartly, and futures are up as I'm recording this, but if we start by gapping down smartly, we could have a back-to-back diamond on stilts pattern. All the fibs work, and we could be going down to around 56, 58, not in a day necessarily, but everything works if this is a top. Doesn't mean it is a top, doesn't mean something else won't work, but if the response to this news announcement gets reversed as promptly as this one did, this could be it. Because we rallied all day, we couldn't clear this midday high, which is negative. Now again, time runs out at tomorrow's open. We open up here, all is forgiven. But for right now, this is threatening to be the end of the rally. Well, Wednesday's pattern has a yearly low regardless of where we open. There's an optional lower MEJT target. It's not required to print, but nearly always will. There is fib resistance and wave balance at the high of day, and also we couldn't clear the midday high. Bulls need to keep the rally going, ideally by gapping over the high of day. It's quite close to where we close, and if it's the market's intention to continue higher, that shouldn't be hard to do at all. But if, in capital letters, if on the other hand we drop right from the open, ideally by gapping down hard, we could erase all of today's gains, continue down into the 5600 before this drop ends. It's not a requirement, but if we start down, it's very easy to explain that. So I think the opening is critical. It's the pattern with the early low. We have a target which often prints but doesn't have to. We have wonderful wave balance right at the high. There's a wall into the close. Bulls have their work cut out for them. It shouldn't be too hard to gap and take this out early if we're going to go higher. Because if they don't, and if we drop right from the open, this could be the end of the rally. So it's the pattern with the early low. The opening is going to be critical, and I don't care how good this rally looks. If there's no follow through, if we gap down, this doesn't mean a thing. We'll see where we open. If you're a bull, cross your fingers. If you're a bear, you're going to find out, I think, pretty soon if you're going to win or not. And that's today's call.